You.
Hey everyone, as you know, my name's Claire of Alpha Fit Female, and I would like to welcome to the Naked Warrior and to all of the viewers today, the lovely Miss Janet Kendrick Keys of Prosperous Women Coaching. This lady is amazing at helping women feel more abundant and get connected to the essence of their divine to be able to attract more financial wealth into their lives. So you can probably put it a lot better than I do. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you work with women.
Thank you, Claire. And you actually put it beautifully. And it is Prosperous Woman Coaching is all about bringing a woman into alignment, connecting to that soul, that potential, that power that is within. Because we do have a warrior, a goddess that is within us, that power and that force. And it's simply, well, I say simply, however, it's clearing out all of those things that prevent you from being connected to that. So the emotional side, the emotional part of our relationship, those negative emotions, let's clear those out so that you can fully connect to that abundance that's within you.
Awesome. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
And I know we've spoken previously on a couple of occasions, and we're very much connected in alignment with the way that we work with women. From my perspective, it's teaching women to have a better, healthier relationship with their eating habits, with their exercise habits, with their mindset, how they feel, their confidence and their self-belief. And for you work in exactly the same way on improving women's relationships with money and their financial status. So
Yeah, absolutely. For a lot of women, like we want our own financial independence and our own freedom. Like it is really important to all of us. And for a lot of women, they can give away their time and their energy, to someone else, right? So it's like there's not enough time for them to work on what is important to them. And women have amazing gifts and talents and ideas that can be transferred into financial success, yet they can lack that confidence within themselves or even be financially independent on someone else, right? Versus relying on their own self. So doing that inner work, clearing out, that any scarcity, any lack of self-confidence in handling their own financial matters, so that
cool.
we're all responsible for ourselves, right? We're responsible and we're accountable for our own growth, whether it's our health or even our money management. So it's really stepping up and like, what do I need to do, right? To ensure that my blueprint or my actions, my habits are aligned to financial success, freedom, and independence.
Definitely, that sounds very exciting. So tell
Mhm.
me, what are some of the biggest or most common blocks that you have found on your time with working with women that women have about money and their feelings of worthiness and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of touched on them a little bit but women give away a lot of their time and energy. We're natural nurturers.
Mm,
We are natural nurturers, so we can be loyal to everyone else first, and then we come last. And that'll show up in their money relationship, right? When you're giving away all your time and your energy to something else, usually that part, you can be sacrificing that part for yourself, right? So if a woman is, even if they're in business for themselves and they're giving away all their time and money or their time and their energy to things that are not in alignment with their own heart desires, then maybe money is not showing up for them in their lives. So that's the biggest thing, is giving away, right? To the point of, who am I? Who am I in this? And they might want something more for themselves and feel like they're being called for something more. And then the other part is the lack of self-confidence. They have great gifts, talents, financial ideas, and yet taking those ideas and creating them into financial success, lacking the confidence or even needing the approval of their partner, their
right,
spouse,
yeah.
right? Can be a really big one. And even that financial independence, right? I've been in those shoes of being a stay-at-home mom for many years, and I was dependent financially on someone. And later when I wanted my own financial freedom and independence, I had to really learn to be dependent on me and my actions and my habits. Even though I still had a husband who supported me, I had to step up and be responsible for me,
Hmm.
my planning, my habits and responsibilities that I was committed to make sure that I was doing the work to meet that. So that financial independence on something or someone else can um, be too easy in avoiding what we want, right? It's like that procrastination. I
Yeah,
don't
you
have
get
to really do
comfortable,
it.
don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Comfortable.
Yeah.
Comfortable is the word. When we know that growth lies outside of the comfort zone, right? But we can get really comfortable, and that can be detrimental to our own financial independence and freedom.
Exactly. So what would you advise to someone who potentially might feel that they're reliant on someone? So if they are a stay-at-home mum, or they're in a job potentially that they feel like they're a slave to with their career, and they feel they have to be there to cover all their bills and things like that. How would you help one of women in that situation to become more confident within themselves and their financial status, to take that leap to be more independent rather than depending on something?
Yeah, absolutely. And wherever you are, if you're in a job and you're working for someone else, or you are a stay-at-home mom, start looking at the value of you and look at what are some financial details that I need to know. A lot of women I know want to avoid looking at their money, right? Like maybe the husband is handling it, or, they just avoid looking at their own planning. And ask yourself, like, what is it that I need to know, right? Even if it's the basic financial details of like having your insurance in place, having a plan, having a will, your own money management things, right? It's like, what's important to me, so that you are connected to that. So a lot of times we're not connected to our money relationship in ways that are positive and
Hmm.
empowering. So by you taking control and looking at what are the financial details I need to know, then that's going to be empowering in itself. And if you don't know, it's like, ask someone that is a trusted advisor, so that read books on wealth. If you're in a job and you're feeling undervalued, or you're not feeling worthy, or you're getting paid, you're not getting paid enough, like maybe those things are showing up. If you are there, look at your own inner self,
Yeah.
right? From my experience, I worked in a banking career. I didn't see my value. I didn't see my worth. And the truth is that that situation was mirroring for me things that I needed to see within myself, right? So even in that position, had I looked within and said, what is it that I need to see here? Where is it that I'm not valuing myself or seeing my own worth? So it's like, you don't need to leave your job. Now, if you're being called to be an entrepreneur, that's a different story. But even where you are, start seeing your own value and your own worth. Like, if you're not feeling that inner abundance, so abundance is a feeling
Yeah.
that's inside, that we need to feel that. And if we're not feeling that, it just means we need to go to work and find the things that's preventing us from seeing our own value and our own worth. So start managing your finances. Like, finances is so important, right? Just like health is wealth, your finances, your money is going to help you do more things that you love to do and give you freedom. And emotional freedom towards money is so important. So what is it that you need to do? Like, start with where you are, handle financial matters, read financial books, like grow that part of yourself,
Mm.
because it will empower you.
It's
And
like
even
take
as a
responsibility, isn't it? Sorry to cut you in there.
yeah,
It's that taking
no,
responsibility of that. I've worked with women, and I teach a similar message. It's, if you want to start to feel confident within yourself, then you need to start taking the action. And when I've helped women and they've achieved small wins, with their health and fitness goals, then you start to see the small changes in their confidence and self-belief. And I imagine it would be exactly the same thing with trying to create that more abundant feeling. It's like doing little things along the way, and then they will all add up
absolutely.
after consistently doing them. So how would you help a woman to feel more abundant? Because it's all well and good saying I am abundant, but how do you feel it?
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel it? Is like you are your greatest asset. I want you to know that. Like you are your greatest asset. And how do you start seeing and feeling that? Is that you start treating yourself, your time, your energy, your money as being sacred,
Hmm.
because we really are, right? Like you look at life, it's like, we're amazing. We're here. We're these our bodies are temples for our souls. If you believe that, if you're in alignment with that, and start treating yourself as sacred, seeing the value and seeing the worth within you. So it's like really connecting with that. Some things that what you think about is what you feel about, is what you do about in life, right? Which then creates the results. So pay attention to your own thinking, your thoughts, because if you're having negative thoughts around money, your negative thinking is going to create negative emotions.
Hmm.
And negative emotions are your feelings that go out into the world that create your results. So watch your thinking. And when you think something that is negative, what is that about, right? Go a little deeper.
Yeah.
Um, Oftentimes our beliefs will come up. Like, for me, one of the deep rooted beliefs was I was not good enough. And that was
Right.
imprinted in me because of the way I grew up. So notice things that show up like I'm not good enough, or where you're not seeing your value, and dig a little bit deeper into the roots or those beliefs that are in the unconscious level, so that you remove them, so that you can then step forward in a positive, abundant feeling, right? So sometimes it does take doing that deeper work
Mm.
to be able to clear those limiting beliefs. But your thoughts will be a great indicator as well. It's like, what am I thinking about here?
Exactly,
Right?
they're signposts, and so if you start to create that awareness around where your attention goes, then it's like the kind of journey that you're going to take, because exactly as you said, your thoughts get put out into the universe, but it's your thoughts that create your decisions and then your actions as well, and what you're going to do with it. So
Yeah.
for you, obviously you said that the your feelings of your own self-worth and value were ingrained in you at quite a deep level, and you had to go to work. So what are some of the things that you had to do after you identified that? Because I know a lot of the women who are part of this group will resonate with that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I had a money story. I had a money story that needed to be changed. How I grew up, how I lived my life, what I didn't learn from my parents. All of that made a difference in my life. And I had to examine my money story and go back.
Hmm.
Luckily, like I was led to do the work that I'm doing. So I work with archetypes. So
Hmm.
archetypes are here to teach us about the power, the patterns, the courage, the motivations, the fears that are within us. And they teach us about to know what our gifts are, what our talents are, but also the challenges. So the shadow sides of self. So we are light and we are dark, right? And we're either playing in this world with two different emotional levels, which is love or fear. So the
Hmm.
emotions of love is, empowerment, love, joy, intuitiveness, creativity, inspiration. Fears is the shame, the blame, the guilt, the judgment around money. And I had to look at all of those things and know that I'm playing from my shadow side of self when I'm feeding this side of myself, right? So how do I move through it? So my work that I do and what I have done on myself. Of course, I couldn't do this work if I didn't do it on myself.
Exactly.
Is to look at the shadow parts of self, which is fear. And fears are meant to keep us from growing, because what we mostly want to run from our fears. Yet, if we tap into that courage and we move through our fears, learn our lessons, and come back into a place of alignment, then we're back into that place of love and empowerment, abundance, prosperity. So it's like, here's our energetic vibrations based on which realm we're playing in, fear or love. And we have to look at the fear sides of ourselves, right? So if in your life you have money drama, if you have a money relationship that you need to break up with, right? It's
Yeah,
like
like any other relationship.
exactly. Or, you want to stay in the relationship and you want to make it better. It's
Improve
it's
that.
doing that inner deeper work, right? Because here's our thinking is one thing. And then our thinking is our conscious mind. Our subconscious or unconscious mind is where our beliefs lie. And it's our beliefs that's going out and creating in the world. So we need to be in alignment, right?
Hmm.
Our thoughts, our beliefs, our actions need to be in alignment, right? So
Yes,
you can't just
definitely.
sit there, you can't just sit there and visualize what it is that you want. You actually have to take action. And I always say, Claire, that we are creating from a place of lack or scarcity
Hmm.
or stories of the past, or we're creating from a place of abundance now because I'm tapped into that part of myself, right? And so it's like peeling away the layers of an onion until you get to that place of yourself where you are in alignment, right? So it's a
Hmm.
practice, and know that challenges and fears are inevitable. You
Yeah.
will always have them. You will, perhaps it'll be like, oh, I'm too lazy or I'm not good enough. And all these things will show up, right? Even in your fitness routine, same thing in your money routine, all this stuff will show up. And it's looking at it and seeing it and saying, oh, I see you right now. You're the witness to your fear, to the shadow part of self, and be like, don't wish it could be easier. Wish you were better, right?
I
And that's
love
where
that saying. Yeah.
right? And then you go to work and you do what you need to do to be better, right? Knowing
Hmm.
that this fear can stop me. However, I have a warrior, I have a goddess within me, and I can move through it. And when you move through it, you expand. You grow to newer heights within yourself.
Awesome. One of my questions to you was actually going to be, if one of the ladies are watching and they feel that they're coming from that scarcity, lack mindset, what to do about it. But I think you've just answered that, really, because
Yeah.
it sounds like they would be living in that fear space and living in the shadows rather than, being positive and living in the abundance and the light side, if you like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. There's usually a fear, there's a fear behind it, right? Too, when
Mhm.
you're in that place of scarcity. So it's like going deeper, you know, for women that I work with and even myself, fear of rejection, fear of not being loved or liked, or fear of like needing the approval of someone else. Like all of those things are symptoms of I'm coming from a place of lack here.
Yeah.
Or it's like I'm not doing it for the money, or, like all of these, there's money mindset things that we say all the time that is scarcity and lack language, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it also kind of excuses as well to kind of hide the relationship that you have with money. So
Yeah.
what three top tips would you have to help someone feel more abundant? Or have you
Mhm.
got any advice about how someone can go to work on themselves? Any books? I know we were talking about that earlier
Yeah.
today.
Absolutely. The Sacred Money Archetype Assessment. I'll share that with you guys, and I would highly recommend you take it because knowing your archetype is so empowering. I mentioned to treat yourself as sacred, so that means start looking after your body, putting in high energy foods
Hmm.
because we're vibrational, right?
Yeah, love that. Thank
we
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We are though. Like we are high vibrational we are either high vibrational beings or we are low vibrational beings.
Yes.
So we need to look after our body. This is our temple of the soul, right? So start feeding yourself high nutritional foods, working out, taking care of yourself, treating yourself as sacred, making you a priority. So like become loyal to you.
Hmm.
And I just want to say, if you're trying to give up a habit, so let's say you're drinking or you're smoking and you eat that chocolate cake, eat it and enjoy it, or drink it and enjoy it. Don't beat yourself up over it, because as soon as you beat yourself up over it, you go back into the shadow side of self.
Hmm.
So for me, when I was before I was quitting drinking, I would be like, I'm having a drink and I'm enjoying it anyway. I just wouldn't allow myself to go in that place because I knew I was lowering my vibration and I was entering back into that space. So as you work on yourself and you do right things for yourself over time, you'll be ready to let go of those things that no longer support you. You just arrive there and you're like, oh, I don't need that anymore, because you're that much more empowered and you're that much more stronger within yourself,
Mm.
right? Because you're connecting to the warrior, you're connecting to the goddess,
So
right?
when I was
Within
going to
you.
use your strong, when you keep reinforcing the same consistent habits and actions that are going to make you feel more empowered, you just
Mhm.
naturally get stronger. So then you're not swayed by things, and your discipline will naturally become, or it'll be easier to become disciplined for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the discipline comes from your place of empowerment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, amazing. So if any of the lovely ladies who are watching would like to work with you or know a little bit more about how you work with women, what I will do
Mhm.
is I'll be posting this recording in the Naked Warrior group anyway, and then I'll tag you in it. So please put any links in for women
Yeah.
can reach out to you. But if you want to explain a little bit more now, that would be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I always say start with the sacred money archetype assessment.
I
And
don't
I work with,
know.
I know we're going to do your reading next
I
week.
know,
It's going
I'm
to be
excited.
exciting. I work with women on a one-on-one basis, and I work in a group setting. So that's nice. And I am in the process, and I'm creating an online course right now. So I'm actually
Awesome.
my group is a combination of self-study with the online course, and then me coming in working together. So this online course will be available for like a self-study option too. So that like in 10 weeks, even maybe even sooner, that'll be ready to launch. So
Share it in
that'll be
here, please
amazing.
do.
Yeah. 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 And the work that I do is deep. It's transformational. I'm so honored, Claire, to be able to do the work that I do, to witness the transformation in women as they take back their power, as they recognize where they've given it away.
Hmm.
Um, Amazing.
You took their words right out of my mouth. They're words that I talk about as well. Like, when I work with women, especially in the Naked Warrior, it's all about being bold, being brave, and unafraid to take back control. And, I leave it there at take back control, because it's not just about health and fitness. It's, mindset, relationships, and with the financial side of their lives as well. And I wanted to touch on something that you said earlier as well. So, we all know the saying, your greatest health, your wealth is your health is your wealth, that one, which I can't remember right
Yeah.
now. But I've also worked with a lot of women who have experienced some kind of stress in their life. And, if you do have stresses in your life, and, we do experience money and financial stresses. And I've found that if you have any stresses in your life, then you can't achieve full wellness. You're not going to be able to reach your capacity with your health, and, that
Yeah.
feelings of vitality and being connected to your high energy vibrations and
Yeah.
looking after your body. So it is, it all comes together. So if we can help women with their financial side of things, so they're reducing their stress and they have that more
Yeah.
positive abundant mindset, it's just going to flow and link into all the other areas of their life as well.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Every session, like when I work with a woman, every session is clarity, because they see where they've given away their power. And as they take it back, there's that empowerment. So automatically you start letting go of the fear and the anxiety and the stresses, right? And I also bring in elements of, yoga and breathing and
Hmm.
meditation. And I do chakra balancing because, we are these energetic beings, and doing those things to release our stresses, we need to do the things that empower ourselves, right? The
Yeah.
stress is like the symptom. It's like, well, what am I not managing, right? How can I manage it better so I can eliminate that stress? And absolutely, it definitely, with practice, right? I always say progression, not perfection.
Hmm.
However, with practice, and I know myself, like, I've been on this journey, and, more and more I'm in a place of alignment and have emotional mastery, because stuff comes up in life. It will. We don't have control over the outer world or people's reactions. The only thing we have control over is ourselves, right? Our own self mastery, being honest with ourselves, and emotional mastery, right? And as women, we are emotional, right? We are emotional, but we can be told to, in the workplace, not express our emotions, and therefore, not being connected to our truth or that
Hmm.
inner part of ourselves. So we want to know, here are our emotions, but how do we navigate through the challenges, through the stresses, through the negativity, right? So that we come back into that place of alignment, abundance, and prosperity. And it's learning. It's
Yeah.
learning how to do it. And there are many, many books on it. And there's, it's the work that I do in guiding women on this journey to coming back to taking back their power, just like you, Claire, right? So it's like health. You look at the 5 pillars, right? Emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, financial well-being. There's the 5 pillars. Which of those areas, if you were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the greatest, if it's on the low scale, put some energy and attention into it. Like make that a year commitment, 6 month or a year commitment, and then go to work on improving it, and your life will change.
Oh, amazing. You and me definitely do sing from the same hymn sheet, don't we? It's awesome. So if ladies are looking to improve in those areas, then they're definitely in the right place with you and me here. So it's been amazing. Thank you so much for your time this evening, or your lunchtime, I should say. Is there
Yes.
anything else that you'd want to share with any of the viewers today?
Yeah. Take care of yourself. See you as the amazing you that you are. Take back your power. You're so, so worth it. And I'll share some links so that if you have any questions, reach out to me. This is my mission, is to help women heal, to inspire them on that journey to taking back their financial power. And yeah, I'm excited. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor to be connected with like-minded women, and we have a mission to help heal in this world and inspire growth and expansion.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
It's
welcome.
been great. It's really good to be connected with you too. Thank you so
You as
much.
well. You're welcome. Bye.